Jumaane, in New York, I'm curious what you think about the challenge posed there by what are, of course, Democrats. Bill de Blasio always said he was a very progressive Democrat, and he's talked and worked on civil rights. Whether people want to factor in as relevant or not, he himself in his campaigning and in public has invoked his interracial family. His family has been out protesting, some of them. I say that all respectfully, and yet New York is a place, as you know, where even when there are quote unquote liberal pro-civil rights mayors, there still seem to be many problems with NYPD. Do you view that as something that de Blasio is ultimately answerable for?
I have to say it's been stunning to watch from people who say they are different, and curfews have a place. I was the first person in the city to say we need to shut down the city with the coronavirus. Neither the mayor or the governor listened, and now 30,000 people in New York State are dead. And now, when we're talking about Black lives, the first thing folks want to do about people who are protesting about over-policing and laws that cause interactions is give a curfew and other laws to cause interactions, instead of saying, this is what I can do right now as mayor and as governor by executive order. This is what I'm doing so people can hear it. So I'm thankful for the city council in New York City for moving forward on banning chokeholds and other things.
But let me make sure,
across the country,
just because of my job to make sure I'm hearing you right, are you saying, though, that you think de Blasio and Cuomo have overreacted to trying to control the protests and should be doing more to do executive-led reform now?
Of course, they failed. It's not like they overreacted. The mayor failed from the beginning of this protest. The military might that was shown at the beginning of this protest set the stage needlessly, putting protesters in danger and officers for no reason. The governor coming in with no plan of how to address what the protesters are asking about, set a curfew that made it the worst night we have seen so far. And so it behooves, it boggles the mind of why everybody's having a discussion about curfews and 4,000 additional police in New York City, but not having the real discussion about here is the plan, protesters. We hear you, hear your pain. In New York City, the last time a curfew was used in 1943 when a white police officer shot a Black soldier. And so the only time we seem to care about this stuff, and the only thing that we seem to push is Black lives don't matter. And so we have to have the hard discussion and real leadership in this city and the state, because it is absent. And people, we said when the pandemic said there will be human cost to the inaction, and we're seeing it now. And we're saying it now. There will be a cost to the lack of real leadership in this city, in this state. So we don't want to see the things that we're seeing. But we're saying the best way to get at this is to address the concerns of people in the city, state, and this nation.
Really appreciate that. And I was asking you because I wanted to hear that specifically. A lot of folks in the news, and sometimes we overemphasize the political or partisan part. You're talking about, obviously, other Democrats in New York, but really your views of where, as you said, Cuomo and de Blasio, in your view, failed. Interesting to get that perspective. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.